What's up? Welcome to Tactical Gear for Life. Today we're going to take a look at a piece of kit that isn't necessarily tactical in nature, but it does fit firmly into the realm of EDC. And I am a firm believer that your EDC gear should strongly complement your tactical loadout. So we're going to take a quick look at Acebeam's new EDC Flashlight, the K1. Now, full disclosure, Tactical Gear for Life is a partner with Acebeam, and they did send me the K1 for a review. But that being said, I'll always hit on the good, the bad, and the ugly of any piece of kit that I review.
Contractor, no. I will not bow to any sponsor.
So let's start off with some specs, and then we'll work our way from the outside in. So the white light on the K1, the max output is 1,000 lumens. Its max beam throw is 223 meters. Its length is just over 4 inches. And it weighs approximately 2.7 ounces. So it's small, it's very lightweight, and it makes it ideal to carry around in your pocket.
Oh, giddy up, giddy.
All right, so starting on the outside, the K1 is made from 6061 aluminum, which is pretty standard. Strong, it's durable. The whole body has been coated in a hard anodized finish, which helps prevent scratches, abrasions, and general light use damage. The head has a strike bezel on it. Now, considering its size, I would never really want to use the strike bezel to actually hit anything with. I've done it in the past with flashlights about this size, and I've hurt my hand because of it. But if you want to, say, hold in your hand and use it to simply brace your knuckles as you strike something, that's doable. It has a mechanical switch on it, which is probably hands down my favorite style of switch to have on these lights. It simply makes it the easiest and most functional. Whereas if you have an electronic switch and you have to click through the settings, unless you have it memorized, you can mess up, you can forget how to get to the different settings. You have some light knurling on the body, and you have a nice, really deep carry pocket clip, which is what lets it sit so deep in your pocket, completely out of the way. On the tail, you have your main switch. Now, whenever I review a flashlight, what I scrutinize most is the switch. It's the easiest places for companies to cheap out on. You can always tell when a company has put more effort into their flashlight when that tail switch, or button, whatever you want to call it, has a solid detent, firm press, and usually a nice audible click. Now, moving into the actual features of the light, this is where it has a couple of things that I think make it stand out a little bit more from many of your other EDC flashlights. And that is that it has 3 different light sources. And although it comes with a rechargeable battery, it's compatible with standard AA's. Now, I think that compatibility with standard AA's is huge. When I'm in the field, I don't always have the ability to recharge things, but we always do get replenished items like batteries. Now, whenever I go into the field, I always take some extra batteries with me, but if those ever run out, I know I'll get resupplied. But even if you aren't someone that gets resupplied, you can still carry, like I said, a baggie with a bunch of extra AA's. And so when that rechargeable battery does run out, you can just swap in some AA's and keep going. So the fact that the K1 is compatible with AA's, I thought was a fantastic feature that Acebeam built into the K1. The other main feature that I think makes the K1 extremely versatile and increases those who would want to use it is the fact that it has 3 different light sources. It has its main white beam, it has a UV light, and it has a high-powered 3R green laser. Now, the white light at 1,000 lumens and 223 meters, that is perfect for EDC. You don't need anything brighter than that, and you definitely don't want anything more focused than that. If it becomes any more focused, like you might find in a traditional tactical flashlight, it's too bright in enclosed areas. Now, the UV light that Acebeam has put into the K1 is a high wavelength UV light, which means it picks up things that the eye can't normally see. For example, bodily fluids, as well as things like certain insects, gemstones, and rocks. So although I personally haven't found a use for the UV light, I do think it really increases who would want to use it. And same with the 3R green laser. We were doing some night training, and a couple of the other guys had their laser pointers, and I had the K1, and the K1 drastically outshone theirs. So the power that Acebeam put into the green laser in the K1, it's fantastic. And it's this trifecta light source, the UV light, the green laser beam, and the standard white light, that I think, along with the AA compatibility of the K1, really makes the K1 extremely versatile to who would want to use it and who can use it, not just in their professional lives, but as well as civvy side. Now, probably the one thing that stood out to me as something I wasn't a huge fan of the K1 is that Acebeam actually did put in a strobe light, but in order to access the strobe light, you first have to have the light on, and you have to cycle the mechanical switch from the white light to the laser and back again in 0.03 of a second. So it's just a quick there and back to access the strobe light. Other than having it as like a fun feature, because you already have to have it on, there's no instant strobe, and you have to use essentially two hands to do it, I really don't see it as in the least bit functional. So it's a fun add-on, but not something that you would ever really find yourself using with the K1. So I do think that the K1 is a fantastic EDC flashlight. I think the 3 light sources greatly increases those who would want to use it, both civilian side and in the professional life. I think the AA compatibility makes it great for field use, and I think the overall size makes it perfect, as it should be, to carry around every day. I know I can have my multi-tool or my knife and have the K1 in the same pocket and not have it get in the way of my hand. Now, that being said, that's just my opinion. Tell me in the comments down below what you think of the new K1, and also tell me what you would use the UV light for, as well as the green laser. And if you're willing, do me a quick favor, do all those YouTube things, like, subscribe. As I work to grow the channel, we all know it helps. If you're interested in picking yourself a new Acebeam K1, I'll put a link in the description down below. If you're interested in checking out more tactical gear and gear guides, head on over to tacticalgearforlife.com. I'll see you in the next one.